Hi, my name's Louise, and I'm just going to do a short standing session for those of you that struggle to get on the floor, mobility and back stretch. I always start my Pilates sessions. I'm just going to move my mat forward for you. I always start my sessions with setting up into good posture. So it's really important your feet are hip distance, your second toe line with the centre of the knee. So your thigh bones sitting correctly in your pelvis, that will alleviate some of your lower back issues straight off. Shoulders roll down the back. So get your arms by your side with your palms facing in. And then just tuck your ribs and tailbone. So if you normally work with your pelvis slightly forward, we're going to tuck under and through. So shoulders sitting over hips, knees, ankles. And then think about how your head's sitting. So chin level with the floor and you're gazing forward. We spend so much time hunched over and sitting poorly with the head down. Just realigning your posture can really help alleviate some of your back issues. And then just taking the weight slightly forward and back through the feet, we're going to find our centre point through front and back of foot and centre the weight right, left. So in Pilates, we use lateral breathing, fingers to the front of the body. We want to keep the front of the rib cage nice and still. Thumbs can go to the back, and we breathe in through the nose, out of the chest, into the back and side of the ribs. So think about expanding the lungs backward and letting those ribs open up. And as you breathe out, close the ribs in, drawing them down, and you're lifting through front and back passage, so pelvic floor lifting. And if that was a lift to 10 floors, come onto a flat floor 3. So I'm just setting your breath, making your core work, and all those deep core muscles support your spine. The stronger your core is, the less issues you'll have through your back. So then we're going to use the breathing as we lift the shoulders up and round. So a little bit of mobility to begin with, lifting up and through. And as we come back, let's think about keeping the ribs up and the chest of drawers. There's no opening of the ribs. The shoulders should be sitting over the hips, over knees, over ankles, and the head is just stable and looking forward. So can you do 2 more of these? And then arms by the side, I want you to tuck the pelvis under. So sliding the ribs, tucking up through and coming back. Now we are letting the pelvis tilt forward, so I want you to think about keeping those stomach muscles tight and just using the back muscles. If you've got a specific back issue, i.e. discs or any osteoporosis, arthritis, you may want to limit that tilt forward. But let's try and keep the legs long and start to use the lower stomach and these muscles that deepen your bottom, your deep glutes, rather than using these big glute muscles. So you're tucking under and releasing back. I want you to try and keep legs long, big toe on the floor, so you can feel your arch. If your back's really stiff, you might need to soften the knees off to get that tilt under. But we're really trying to mobilise this lower back. And then come up through with long legs. We want to find neutral pelvis, so your tailbone should be sitting to the floor. If you put hands front and back, the fingertips should be to the floor. And then arms come back by the side, and we're just going to tip the chin to the chest and look up to where the ceiling meets the wall. But can you see the shoulders staying still with the arms by the side? The ribs are nice and flat, and I'm just moving through my neck. Control the tilt back, so we don't feel it in the upper back, we just feel maybe a bit of a stretch through the front of the neck into the chest. So remember, we're mobilising. We're doing small controlled movements to mobilise the joints, increase the fluid around the joints, which gives the joints more lubrication. The chin looks forward, and we're just going to look to the side, centre, and to the other side. Now, stabilise your shoulders. So, as you move your head, you want to think about stabilising your shoulder blades. Because the more stable the shoulder blades are as you move your neck, your head, the more mobility you're going to give to your neck, and the less issues you're going to have through your shoulders. Try and keep the chin off the shoulder as we move. Now, the arms are by the side, that means your shoulders are still. I want you to try and look back as far as you can and turn your gaze and bring it into centre and go the other way. So we're breathing out as we go around and we're breathing into centre. You're going to do that 2 more times. Always make sure if you're doing one side then the other, you do it equally. In centre, we're going to single arm circle up and round. Keeping the chest, hips, knees, toes forward, alternate sides. Let the arm rotate in the socket. So the palm might be turning in, up and round. But the head staying forward. Lift up, through. Good. Breathe in, up and back round. Let's do 4 more. So the more lubrication the joints have, the more shock absorption there is, the less likely we are to injure, and we just move better. So mobilising all your body, especially your spine, first thing, is a good idea to get you moving better. From there, just coming to a side bend, breathing out and breathing in. So let's think about lengthening the spine, the crown of the head to where the ceiling meets the wall. So we lengthen rather than collapsing. We've got a bit of glass in front and behind us, and we're just moving to the side. Aiming to keep shoulders over hips, knees, ankles, all in line, because your hips, shoulders are coming off to the side, aren't they? Let's go 4. But the shoulders are staying down. So as you come to the side, I would expect to feel a bit of a stretch down the side of the neck. You want to avoid lifting up. The work is coming from the ribs. You're opening one side and then closing down through the other. And then the hips stay forward, breathe in, and spinal rotation. So really you're just twisting your shoulders round, keeping the hips forward. You should feel the arch, the big toe stays on the floor. And just look round. If it's making you a little bit dizzy, you might want to come round, hold, come into centre, come round, hold. Can you see how I'm moving my arms around? And I'm taking hold of this hip with the elbow soft to draw myself around, keeping the shoulder down. And you will get a little bit more of a stretch if you do it slower. I want everyone to do 2 slower, wrap the back arm round, front arm across, the elbow is soft. And into centre. Just taking one hand on top of the other, soften your elbows, pull your belly button back, really open your back up as you breathe in. Come up, shoulders over hips, place your hands on your buttocks and just squeeze the inside of your elbows together, keeping the shoulders down. We breathe in, we open up through, arch your back as much as you can, take your hands behind you, squeeze the elbows to get a stretch through the chest, but you're keeping your shoulders away from your ears. So we're tucking the chin and we're pulling back through, open up, and we're breathing out and lifting tall, ribs in, tailbone tucked, and you're trying to squeeze the elbows in. We're breathing in forward and we're breathing out. The knees are softening and the legs are lengthening. The knees soften just to allow the rounding through the spine. Open those shoulder blades back through. Now this time, legs are long. We're going to interlink the fingers, straighten the arms, squeeze the elbows in and just raise the arms to get a good stretch through the upper arm, biceps, through the chest, through the front of the shoulder. Then we're going to interlink the fingers and rotate, pushing the palms away. We're going to scoop through belly button and just push those palms. So if you're pushing your belly button away from you that way, and pushing your palms in the opposite direction, now drop your shoulders, pull the belly button in and tuck your chin. You're looking just down towards your toes, but really open up through the upper back. To come out of it, let's just lengthen the legs, come up tall, and take a deep breath in, bending the knees, scoop the air into your body, release it out. Take a deep breath in and release it out. Do that one more time. Release, give your shoulders a roll, and hopefully you just feel ready for the day. You've got a little bit more mobility there. I hope you enjoyed it.